This is Boxing Tickets NI, and we're joined with Michael Corr. How are you, Michael?
I'm all good, mate. What about yourself?
All's fantastic. Keeping busy with obviously the old interviews. Obviously getting ready for boxing, probably resuming what next Saturday. So I guess it's probably like you yourself, obviously been a big boxing fan as well. I'm sure you just can't wait to get boxing going again.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait to watch the boxing on the TV. It's sad without it, like, nothing to do without it.
It definitely is. So obviously, cutting straight into it. You signed with Boxing Ireland Promotions in November 2020. Um, how obviously is it good now to feel that you're actually now a pro boxer?
Yeah, I mean, it feels great. So it does, obviously going to all the pro shows and seeing all the other pro boxers fighting and the recognition and the success they're getting. It is great that now I'm able to hopefully stamp my name in the same path as them.
And you've sort of, I know yourself, you've sort of been chumming at the bit. Like I think you actually tortured Dennis for over a year to actually turn pro. So what did Dennis sort of say to you in the initial conversations that sort of kept you keen for whenever you turned 18?
Yeah, mate. So when I won the Irish title on the semi-pro scene, actually he was talking to Dennis and he was saying, we'll get you signed up when you're the right age and stuff like that. So I just bought my time and kept fighting on the semi-pro scene and did what I needed to do. And when I turned 18, I was straight on the phone to Dennis the next day saying, right, let's get this done.
And obviously that was probably what during the pandemic and stuff as well. So I guess probably you knew there wasn't going to be much boxing shows. I know Marty Keys obviously has been keeping people busy and getting them prepared for the pro ranks. But obviously I guess with the pandemic you just went, now's the right time.
Yeah, mate, it was just like I was kind of doing what I needed to do in the semi-pro scene, and I thought, why not give the pro game a go? And my style is sort of more come forward aggression, and I can box, so it works both ways for me. Like it works good.
And I guess obviously being a big boxing fan as well, obviously I guess sometimes when you're watching people, you know that the idolize and everything else in the sport, you just want to actually do it yourself.
Yeah, mate. Everybody wants to be uh, topping bills and making a lot of money and winning all the belts, but I just want to get started and get going, and anything else that comes is just a bonus.
And obviously being a level-headed teenager, I guess as well. You don't obviously, some people have the opinion of becoming a pro boxer and you're making millions. So you seem to be level-headed. The fact that you know that you're not going to be making millions of pounds straight away, but who knows what the future may hold.
Yeah, mate, everybody at the start you'd be making like decent amount of money, but I mean it's stepping stones towards the bigger fights and the bigger money and the bigger belts and things like that. So I'm just happy enough to get going and getting started. At the minute, mate, money doesn't mean nothing to me at the minute. It's just about getting started and keep progressing and just keeping myself out there and winning fights. That's all that matters to me.
And obviously, at 18 years of age, you're probably one of the youngest pros in Irish boxing as well. Like, what age did you start boxing at?
I started boxing maybe when I was about 8 or 9. So I did, and I started in Emerald actually, with Harry Murray,
Hmm.
and I was there for about a year or two, and I went to Holy Trinity, and I was there for a couple of years, and then I actually left boxing. So I did. I left it and went and played football, and then I kind of realized I was like, you know what, I think I'm better at the boxing.
You're probably maybe like myself, then with two left feet when it comes to football,
I
and
made
and your talent stayed in boxing.
Yeah, mate. And when I came back to boxing, it was actually Desi Hill up in Gleean.
Hmm.
I ended up going up there, and I boxed up there for years, and I loved it. So that I really loved it. I got the love back for the sport up there, and the lads and the coaches up there, they were 100%. So they were, and then when the time was right, I thought, not really doing much of the amateurs here. I'm take a step back, took a couple of months off, and I approached Marty for the semi-pro scene, and that's how it all started.
And what sort of age were you then when you started with Marty on the semi-pro scene?
17, mate. So it was 17,
And
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 just before my 18th birthday, it was a couple of months before my 18th birthday. I had a couple of fights, and then I knew that this was the right thing to do, and it was gonna give me experience without the hair guard and the later gloves for the pro game. So, in my opinion, it was a good move.
And obviously looking right behind you there, you've obviously your belts are taking pride of place on your TV. So what belts did you win
Yeah,
under the semi-pro circuit?
yeah, just MCR. MCR, they were the three in the semi-pro, and then that one there was when we went to Scotland with the Gleon team. We got them over our, so we did. But yeah, they mean a lot, so they do. It's three belts, so I'm hopefully have a few more.
You're going to need a bigger TV, so obviously to put more belts on when you start winning the pro scene.
Hopefully, mate. Hopefully.
As I say, obviously, I believe your fight weight's going to be super bantam. Who's going to be training you?
Peter Graham's going to be training me, so he is.
And
Peter's a good guy and he knows a lot about the game, so I'm happy enough to be starting with Peter and get going.
And that's based out of Clonard, is it?
Yes, Clonard.
Yeah. And Peter sort of seems to be making his name now, sort of in boxing. He's yourself and Dylan Taylor and Connor Quinn.
Yeah, and Ruan Farrell as well. He's up doing a few sessions.
That's right.
So
really.
He is.
So obviously these are all coming through at the right time. So probably it's going to be a good mix for you all. Connor's obviously had a few pro fights already.
Yeah. Connor's a great boxer all round. So he is. So to be training alongside him and probably do a few rounds with him would be great.
And so progress is all on at the same time as well. Obviously boxing Ireland obviously have great things to say about you as well. Dennis obviously thinks that because of your weight category you'll be able to move quickly. So inside a few fights, so obviously finding your feet, you could be fighting for a Celtic title as well.
That's the plan. Hopefully, I'm not looking to jump in right away and fight big fights. I want to progress and train my feet, and then when I'm ready, I'll take them fights.
Definitely, and so just to know that obviously Dennis has that regard for you, sort of thing as well. Goes,
yeah,
do me a good turn,
Yeah, Dennis is a great lad. Leonard and Stephen as well. They're two nice guys. So they are. So I'm happy enough to be saying with Boxing Ireland. I know they can deliver big things for me.
Yep, definitely. And I say there's plenty of obviously boxers, in Belfast that are signed with Boxing Ireland. You probably have to look at Joe Fitzpatrick and Owen O'Neill is probably two of the standout ones, and look how they've done so far.
Yeah, they're doing great. So they are under Boxing Ireland. There's Owen. He's 4-0 already. If the pandemic wasn't here, he would have had a lot more fights. And Joe as well. Joe's a great boxer. Two great boxers. Two great guys as well. So just seeing them and being able to progress so far with Boxing Ireland, it means it makes me feel as if like I'm going to be able to do the exact same thing as them boys are doing with this promotional team.
Yep, definitely. And obviously, I believe you'll be able to sell quite a few tickets as well, which are probably important as well. And
yeah,
get you fights.
Yeah, tickets is the main thing. Like as a boxer, tickets and sponsors. So it is, So I have a big fan base, like I do, and I appreciate everybody who comes and buys tickets and shows me support. So I do, and I'm hoping that the people who did it through the semi-pro scene will obviously continue into the pro game, which I'm 100% sure they will.
Yeah, definitely. Everybody seems to get behind their own in boxing. Obviously, the sport's vital to it.
Yeah.
Obviously, the last year hasn't obviously been, probably it's been hard for everybody, but your normal trade is actually, believe it or not, still with your hands as well. You're actually a barber.
Yeah, mate. Boxing and work, barbering as well. It's been the same. 1 minute it's going smooth, and then the next minute it's going bumpy. So you're in and out of work, and you're in and out of training. It's a nightmare.
And I'm guessing, obviously, being a teenager and being so young in life, sometimes probably the pandemic might show you good lessons for life.
Yeah, mate, definitely it would. Yeah, so it would.
As I say, because obviously, most people nowadays would nearly live wage to wage sometimes, whereas now you go, maybe now might be the time where I can save to put money away because you don't know what's going to happen down the line.
Yeah, mate, you never know what's around the corner. So you don't. So it's just good to put money away and sort of keep yourself financially stable through these times, and just try and do what you can do.
It definitely is, and I say it's refreshing to hear that obviously somebody so young is sort of a good aspect on everything that's been going on. Obviously, looking obviously on the outside, you're a fanatical boxing fan.
Yeah, mate.
Probably a lot of the pro boxers now wouldn't watch as much boxing, but every show you sort of see or fight news been announced, you're probably one of the first people that's there seeing comments as well. So how have you how has boxing sort of helped during the pandemic to keep you obviously positive mindset, knowing that your time's coming?
Yeah, mate, just, big fights. There's, Tini fought for the British title, Joshua Pulev, and just big fights like that. It's coming to the weekend and you've not got nothing to do and you're going to yourself, there's the boxing on the night, cheers you up. You watch the boxing, you're thinking to yourself, I want to be there. I want to be on the big stage. I want to be fighting big names. I want to be fighting big belts and fighting for big belts. Sorry, and it's just it would be a dream to do that there. So it would,
Definitely would, and probably Tini would be probably one of your idols probably growing up. And probably another one I would say would be Hilo, who fights. I think obviously in probably 2 months' time he's going to be fighting for the British title for the second time.
Yeah,
So,
mate.
is any sort of the boxers you sort of grew up idolising been any support and help for you since turning over pro?
Yeah, mate. Tini actually lives around the corner from me, so he does. So, him just winning them our big titles and seeing him what he does and like how he does it and stuff like that, and he actually wished me good luck and stuff, and Halo as well. So the two lads, I've been mates with them for a few years now, and I told them, they thought, why not give it a go? You might do well, and if you don't, you can say it here, at least to give it a shot. You know what I mean? So the lads are good, and the likes of Sean McCollum and stuff. I know Sean as well. Sean's just a great lad all around. So them lads they've been helpful enough. So they're having everybody else, everybody likes to throw the comments of like good luck and stuff like that. So anybody that comments on anything that I put up, I appreciate it, boxer or not. So
definitely, it obviously helps a long way.
Yeah.
You sort of mentioned a good mix of fighters there. You probably Tini and Hilo would probably on the sort of easy-go-lucky, sort of happy to work in the background, and then you probably Sean, who's a maniac,
Yeah.
So you're seeing different obviously styles of him. I think actually Tini turned over 18 as well, so I guess it's a good idol to have, and
Yeah.
he's obviously won every belt there is to win, other probably than a world title now, so it's a good role model to have for you, I'm sure.
I'm sure you'll get the world title soon enough.
And definitely, I'm sure you'll not be sparring him anytime soon either.
Hammer hands.
Definitely, I don't think many people will be looking to get sparring done with him because they just know the power he has in both hands.
Not a chance. That boy hits like he has two hammers on his hands.
Do we need to inspect them gloves, do we?
Yeah.
Obviously, looking at fights coming ahead, we're just 2 weeks away from Sean McComb, obviously fighting for his first title as a pro. Paddy Donovan obviously fighting on the same card. It was supposed to be Hilo's night, but obviously his fight's been postponed. And then 3 weeks out from now, Frampton obviously looking to create Irish history, and obviously Anto Kokachi fighting the same card. So for you yourself, obviously looking at it as a fan and obviously as a boxer coming up, there's some more great boxers to obviously educate yourself on, obviously, on how they're doing things right.
Yeah, Sean McComb to watch is unreal. So he is, he reminds me of a big worm because of how dynamic his movement is and how he can hit and move. But Gavin Gwynn, that's a great fight for Sean, a great step off fight. I have no doubt he'll do the business. But Gavin Gwynn, he showed it against Tennyson that he's not there to stand there. He's coming to fight. And I know Sean will be ready. Sean's put the work in, so I'm really excited for that fight. And I know Sean will do the business.
And what do you think? Obviously, Frampton then obviously the chance to become the first person in the Ireland of Ireland to become a 3-weight world champion.
Yeah, Jamel Herring. That's another hard fight for Frampton. I haven't really watched much of Herring. I am a Frampton fan, but I would love to see Carl do the business, and I think he will. And I know as well, just on that card, Kokachi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anto Kokachi is one of the most underrated Irish boxers to fight in Ireland, from Ireland, sorry.
Yeah.
That man has had a lot of bad luck with fights.
Yeah.
fallen through. But now that he has this fight against isn't it Lennon Woodstock, isn't it?
Leon Woodstock.
Yeah, that no doubt Anthony will do the job there as well. You know, he's an all great lad, and Paddy Donovan is, for only being so early in the pro game, that guy is going to make a big statement. So yes,
and I guess obviously, you know, similar age to yourself as well. So I guess obviously you can sort of look at that in a way and go, you know what, I can replicate that. You know, and I say it's easily done. You get a few fights under you, and the next thing people's talking and going, Michael Corr is the next best big thing in boxing. You know, you just don't know what's going to happen.
Hopefully, and just on that, just talking about fights, it's a hard fight for Halo.
Yeah.
So it is a hard fight for Halo. You know, Waltz has been in with Gervonta Davis. Although he got stopped, you know, he's still got a couple of rounds in. Halo's been in with good big names as well. You know, Francesca Pereira and Lewis Ritson. You know, so it has the makings to be a nice, tasty fight. And I'm going to go with Halo for the win.
And I think it, you know, I've been sort of saying the Halo and stuff as well in some of the posts. Taney won the British title second attempt. Kokatcha won the British title second attempt. Halo's now going for the second attempt as well. So the blueprint's ready there for him to go, you know what, I didn't get it the first time around, but here I'll get it the second time around.
Yeah. I really think he's put a lot of work in, a lot of hard work. He's made a lot of sacrifices, and I think he will get the job done.
Fingers crossed, and we hope to see him. Obviously, keeping your feet in the ground of obviously, you know, making your potential debut, because obviously the whole pandemic going on, you know, it's not looking probably anytime soon. I know Boxing Ireland are planning a few shows. They've obviously one in Luxembourg in March, and I'm probably looking at another one. But I think the vital thing at the moment is having sponsors there to be able to cover the cost, because boxers are having they fight they obviously provide the funds for their fights. But obviously you just joined over as a pro. Probably now is the right time to get sponsors involved, because you know how much of an impact it's going to play for you.
Yeah, mate, I have a few sponsors on board at the minute, but they are first class planes, Street Dance Records, and Bob's Cards. So I'll be looking to add more. So if any companies are watching this, or any businessmen are watching this and want to sponsor me, just mail me on Facebook or Instagram, and I'll talk about it with you.
Yep, definitely. As I say, it's a massive part of boxing now. And as I say, we always have the belief in everybody getting behind to support our boxers to live their dreams, you know. So obviously, I just sort of want to leave it sort of on, you know, at 18 years of age, obviously not making your debut yet. What was your sort of plans? What plans would you look towards the next 12 and 24 months as a boxer?
Well, mate, the main plan for me is just making the debut at the minute, and hopefully when I make the debut, the COVID is sort of calmed down, and there can be shows run every, say, 2 to 3 months, and maybe be 2-0, 3-0 before the year's out. But if not, the main priority for me would be just getting the debut out of the way and just showing what I can do.
Yep, definitely. And I say it's just keeping it one step at a time and get one out of the way, and then I'm sure you'd be probably torturing Dennis every 2 minutes and going, when's the next show, because
yeah, mate, yeah.
It's once you do it once, that bug's just there, and you just want to keep going at it, you know.
Yeah, mate, yeah. It's just it's a great feeling. It's a great buzz, you know, getting into the ring, showing what you can do, and getting your hand lifted at the end. Nothing comes close to it, like.
It definitely doesn't. Well, look, obviously we'll wish you all the very best, and obviously your progression into the pro ranks. And hopefully, fingers crossed, when the pandemic gets lifted, we can get you some fight news.
Thank you very much, mate. Cheers.